Let's talk about some of the famous villains, because there's some great ones. Don, we mentioned before Red Reddington from Blacklist, but you said you more of a Max Zorin. Who's some of the standouts for you?
What was the name of the actor? I always forget his name. Who played Max Zorin?
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. Yeah, he's a great heel. I really liked Le Chiffre. I liked Mr. White. I like the more subtle ones. I was actually very disappointed in the new Blofeld.
Yeah.
And he appeared in, I think, 2 movies or whatever,
Yeah.
like Inspector and then the last one. Like, I just thought, what a disappointment. And I think what you don't want with a Bond villain, and this was my problem with Telly Savalas, it's kind of like when I go see a Tom Cruise movie. I sit there, and even if it's really good, I'm watching Tom Cruise.
Right.
And I don't want a Bond villain that I recognize as the guy from this. The villain in Skyfall, whose name escapes me,
Raul Silva.
Famous actor, Raul Silva, famous actor, but so good that I got lost in the moment. I never did with the new Blofeld. So for me, I think Raul Silva was great. I really like Donald Grant in From Russia with Love. I mean, he was kind of like the low class, very physical version of James Bond who comes to kill Bond in From Russia with Love, and they have a great fight scene on the train. And he's so petty, by the way, that he actually is going to open up a case and try to get like $100 worth of gold coins. And to me, it humanized him as opposed to the guy in the wheelchair with the cat or whatever. Like, so I think the more grounded ones are generally, for me at least, the better ones.
Brad?
Yeah, I mean, Zorin is a favorite of mine. Also, the groundedness of Christopher Lee's Francisco Scaramanga and the Man with the Golden Gun, who had the third nipple and has the
papilloma superfluous or whatever they.
There you go. I loved him. Kind of villains and henchmen go together. So Jaws, I think from the Roger Moore era, is very iconic. Yeah. Odd Job is very iconic.
Well, Goldfinger himself, yeah, for sure.
Just the classic lines of, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Yes.
Them playing on the golf course and Bond cheats him out of a game and, they bet the gold bar on it. And the actor was actually dubbed over. Like his entire performance was dubbed over by another voice actor or whatever. But still, they nail it completely with Goldfinger. And really, even Zorin is a takeoff of Goldfinger. Like even his whole plan of taking over the microchips in Silicon Valley is the same as taking over all the gold in Fort Knox. And that way you're the only supplier of it. I think there's been a lot of great ones. I do think Silva is a standout.
That was Javier Bardem, right?
Javier Bardem, yes. Yeah. I mean, even the scene where there's that weird kind of sexual tension between him and Bond in that one scene that I think that they actually came up with together. Him and Daniel Craig came up with that whole little bit. There was something so sinister about him. He was like the Joker in a lot of ways where he just wanted to torment Bond the whole way through. And he actually had a real axe to grind. Like his backstory made sense. He was an MI6 agent, then it went rogue. And I really loved him. And though you don't get better than like Odd Job and Goldfinger. Those are just the 2 top for me. And Blofeld.
I think one of the great things, again, it's kind of like the Donald Grant thing. Goldfinger, I believe they start out, isn't he cheating at gin rummy or something like that?
Yeah, cheating at
gold, but you're cheating old guys in Miami.
He's a heel all across
the board. You're a heel.
Yeah. I got to give a honorable mention to Papa Samedi or Baron Samedi.
Oh, Baron Samedi, yes.
Who ends up 2 things. Obviously, that's the antithesis for the Papa Shango character in the WWE. But I like the fact that by the time I saw Live and Let Die, that actor, Jeffrey Holder, was the guy in a very famous 7-Up commercial that had a total catchphrase. I can't remember what it was, but every time I see him, I just think this guy drinking 7-Up and going like, only the bubbles or something. So he did not get typecast as the Baron Samedi. He got typecast as the 7-Up guy.
and how I forgot to bring up, by the way, Jane Seymour as Solitaire in Live and Let Die.
Oh, my gosh. Amazing.
Out of the park. And then Bond tricking her with the lover's cards, and they're all the same card in the deck. But yeah, Baron Samedi, really good. Knick-Knack was another good one.
Oh, Knick-Knack. And that, of course, was